Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third podcast of the Mary Magdalene and Jesus World School and the teachings of Mary Magdalene and Jesus. I am Reint Gaastra, and this is my wife, Gabriela.
Gaastra.
Gaastra, of course.
Okay, yeah, hello everybody.
And we are pleased to talk about the teachings of human divinity. And in this case, we focus on the 4 pillars of human divinity.
Yes.
And Gabriela, you can say something about these special pillars.
Yes, the 4 pillars is what there are certain areas of our consciousness in which we can experience our divinity. You can say, oh, I'm divine, but how I experience that? Well, we experience our divinity through 4 aspects that we call the 4 pillars of human divinity. That is, the first one is unity consciousness. Unity consciousness is connected with our 6th and 7th energy centers, and they allow us to see the unity between ourselves and everything that exists. We have that perception in certain moments, sometimes in nature, sometimes when we are in a theater or with a huge amount of people going in the same direction and doing the same thing, or when you are giving birth or making love, you can experience unity, or when you are with family and you feel connected with all your family members, for example, or with a deeper friendship, or those are experiences of unity. When we grow in that experience of unity, we can begin to experience that in a more extensive way. Often, maybe some people experience that all the time. A very beautiful experience of human divinity, unity consciousness, is communication with animals and communication with nature. When we communicate with animals or with plants or with nature, that is magic. It is like something we are not used to. Then this does not happen in our normal daily life for the most of the people, so to say. Some people who are trained as animal communicators or communicators with nature, or natives from different continents, they have opening for that. But when you hear your pet telling something to you or showing something to you, on when you connect with a tree or with a mountain or with a lake, or that can awaken a very deep experience in your heart, a sense of communion and sense of divinity. That's one way of experience our divinity. The other one we already talked about is unconditional love. That's more connected with the heart. And that's when we accept somebody without judgments, accept ourselves without judgments. We are able to love others without expecting anything, and accepting them like they are. And sometimes can be an act of unconditional love to put boundaries to somebody, or put limits, and to say something no, or to stand for something you consider righteous. That is also an act of unconditional love, and that can create some emotion in you. You can be touched. You can feel the unity in certain moment, and that is something you will never forget. It's like you touch the truth in a certain moment, truth from who you are, and the truth of this existence, so to say. Third one we are going to talk so immediately in depth is our creation force, and the possibility to be a creator, to give shape to something in life, whatever it is, a physical thing or a project or situation or experience, that is also an act of divinity. That is, we are the creators in a small way, so to say, not a huge from the universe, but in that way we are a creative unity. And the fourth pillar is is embracing our earthly divinity, and that is the experience of surrendering to the earth and the earth natural law and how the earth functions, and being a human, having a human body, having a body who is going to die one time, who can get older, who can get sick, and surrendering to these possibilities and limitations of our own body, and also from the earth around us, the material world, the slowness of creation in the material world. That is the way of embracing our earthly divinity, that we are divine in this situation, this setting.
So we have 4 pillars of human divinity: unity consciousness, unconditional love, creation force, creative force, and embracing our earthly divinity. Okay.
Yes.
For instance, unity consciousness. When you experience unity consciousness, then you, as person who is in fully unity, also is in conversations in unity, is in communications in unity, because that is, I think, a very important subject. Because when we are not in balance, or we are a negative person, then we communicate with a negative aspect. Can you tell something about that? Because I think unity consciousness and from communication from unity is such an important thing in this world. When I look at the governments at this moment, and I don't feel unity, and we can do that on a small scale in our families, in our neighborhoods, and be aware of that. I'm not confronting and to create something dualistic, but to create unity in the communication. What can you say about that?
Yes, communication from unity is communication without judgment. Communication from the point of view of being one with each other. With communication from the perspective of listening to what the person is saying with fully openness. Even if somebody is communicating something unpleasant or nasty or whatever, that we look at that in a neutral way, that we don't judge it, but we observe it, and we wonder, what does this creation has to do with this person?
Yeah, that's interesting, because that kind of communication is also a creation.
Yes, and then you can look at the person and realize this person created this for certain purpose. Why does this person have created this? Suppose somebody a friend is telling me that he deceived somebody else and told a lie and manipulate situation. Then I could judge it and say, oh, that's wrong. Why you are doing something like that? But I can also look it from openness and wonder, why did you need to do this? What are you looking for with this creation? And when I don't judge this person,
Yes.
this person will find a new space to explore his or her creation. Because when we judge, we close a space. We put like something on top of it. And
then you have to be very careful to bring the subject to talk about it.
Well, if somebody tells something like that, I don't judge it, then the person gets a space to explore it. If somebody will be nasty about that, I can also always say, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear about this. This is something is very
It belongs to you.
Yeah, I can put a limit to it. I don't want to be involved in this
You
creation.
set a boundary.
Yes, I can choose. I don't want to be involved in this creation. Depends on the intention why somebody shares. Somebody can share something nasty in order to involve me in in that creation, like a witness,
All right.
and making a co-creator of that. And I can say, no, I don't want to be co-creator in this. But somebody can share it with the intention of finding a solution, finding a way out. What can I do about this?
Okay.
I did this from a position of powerlessness. I didn't find any way out than lying or manipulating.
So what is the intention? You concentrate on the intention.
Yes, a person can be asking for help.
Right.
In a certain way. If I see the difference, the intention is asking for help and it's not involving me in something that I don't like, that I don't feel right, then I can try to help the person to analyze the situation and feel further what happened to the person and why did he or she has to act in this way, what skills did she or he missed, what could have been different and why, and in that way the person can maybe develop some create an opening to apologize or to tell the truth to the person.
To reflect.
To reflect, to find a solution, and in that way unity can be restored.
So then communication from unity is very important, you could say.
Yes, certainly it is.
Okay.
And but you can always create unity from the attitude we have in communication. If we listen with an open heart and without judgment, but with discernment, but not judgment. That's a different thing. That we are aware what's going on, but we don't immediately judge that, but we create an opening. And then new things can happen, and the person can find a way back to unity and unconditional love. They are very connected, unity and unconditional love.
Okay, that is one aspect.
Yes.
But unity consciousness is a very important aspect of the human divinity teachings.
Yes.
Okay, the unconditional love. So how, you said beyond good and evil, how do we practice unconditional love in daily life?
Yes. You can illustrate in two ways. You have a feminine and a masculine way to approach unconditional love.
Right.
From the feminine way, that is more like mother would do, or maybe Mother Mary sometimes does that.
She is a symbol of
unconditional love and compassion.
Yes.
And then you accept the other person of the situation for what it is. It has to do with acknowledging what it is, acknowledging the being. Is connected with being, the feminine side of unconditional love. Is accepting somebody with mistakes, with difficulties, with the wrongs of the person, so to say, and that you also, like we just say, look at the person and say, this is what it is. The masculine side, or the fatherly side, you could say, has more to do with putting boundaries to things that are damaging. It has to do with creating good conditions, for
a father, for a family.
For a family, for a person. It is when you tell your child, well, I want you to be at home at 10 o'clock in the night because otherwise it's dangerous for you, or I don't trust you are safe. Then you do that in service of the child.
Could also be a president of a football club or a trainer from a football team.
Whatever. It is. You can put.
Yeah. Okay.
You can put a boundary to a friend or to your partner and says, I don't want to be involved with this, or you cannot talk to me like that, or I don't accept this because it is damaging, and I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want that element in the family or.
Yes. And one sign that you are communicating from unconditional love is that you are not angry. You are determined.
So you don't judge.
You don't judge, you discern. So that means that you realize what is at stake and you put a boundary to prevent damaging, to protect somebody or something, or of yourself also eventually. So that is, and you also create the good conditions for yourself, for others to thrive, to exist, to develop, etc.
Feel good.
Yeah.
Feel unhappy.
Yeah, or to function in a certain way, or for developing a project can be, or it's all part of a way of unconditional love, that you are supportive for something. You put the boundaries as a way of support for something, of somebody to be, to exist.
Well, very interesting. The unconditional love from two aspects, the feminine and the masculine. It's quite different, but they belong together.
They belong together, certainly.
Yes.
Yes.
Both aspects must be there, I should say.
Yeah. That is, you can have a situation, for example, that the child has done something improper, so to say, of damaging, and the mother can look at that and try to look with the child why you did that. And the father will put a limit and say, you are not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, that is...
Yeah. But they look together for a solution for the reason why that happened.
So the children, in that case, they learn that there are boundaries.
Yes, and they feel loved.
Yeah.
In both of them.
Yeah, and the father, or is it the father? I don't know. Could be as well a woman.
Yeah, it can be a mother.
Who sets boundaries. They create a scale of values.
Yes.
These are the values of this family, or of this family, or this company, or this is why this is the way we treat each other.
Yes, and even if the child later, as an adult, will not agree with those values, the intention why these values are brought to the child or to the adolescent or the young adult is a loving intention. It's an intention of supporting this child to develop himself or herself, and later the child will be able to, of the adult will be able to judge for himself or herself. Do I still want this? Is this my thing? And maybe not. And the person can let that go. But the intention by which these values are brought over to the person, that remains, because that has a structuring function in the heart of the person, in the consciousness of the child and the person.
Beautiful.
So you feel, okay, I have been cared about. Somebody cares for me.
Yeah, it's strong.
Yes.
And people feel that.
Yeah.
Okay. The third aspect is the creation force, the creative force, and that is very. I think for me it's a very interesting, because we realize that we are creators and that we create every day.
Yes.
We create the morning when we jump out of the bed, and we do that with a smile, or we are not so happy. So what are we creating with that? And how are we dealing with other people? And there are so many moments in life that we are creating, and that we probably are not aware that we are creating. And are we realizing that we are creating, then we can take responsibility for that.
Yes.
Can you say something about that?
Yes. Well, being a creator is one of the things that, in my opinion, should be brought to the attention of small children from a very young age. That they have they may realize what their creative force is, what their power is, so to say.
I like that.
From a young age.
Yes, absolutely. That they are aware of what they are creating.
Yes, and because when you are aware that you create,
Yes.
then you learn how to do it properly.
Yes.
And consciously, because the big problem, the thing is that we are creators, but in very many situations we are not aware of it. We think we only create, for example, nice things. We create only things that suits to us. That nothing is less true. We create also problems for ourselves. We create also blockages and difficulties for ourselves, many times in an unconscious way, and many times without realizing that and without taking responsibility for that. Then we think it comes from outside. Somebody has done this to me. But before that happens, there is a whole scale of actions that you did or you failed to do or you didn't take responsibility for, or many, many things you say, you thought, you behaved that had built that up. And that is individually and collectively. That is a very important thing. So when we are up to seeing this in this way, and we take responsibility for those things, both the nice one and the ugly ones, then we are up to change. And we can consciously direct our creative force to something different. You see it, for example, in international politics the whole time. Behaving
what
as...
are they creating?
Like I throw a stone, I break a glass, somebody can, hey, you broke my glass. Oh, you are my enemy. You are going to have to attack. You say, oh my God, how old are we? You know?
Yeah.
No. And so with many, many things, I eat junk food and I get sick. How that happens? I'm punished from God. Well, it's not like that.
But not acting is also creating.
Of course. Avoiding is also creating. Yes.
You see things and you notice things, and there should be an action normally, and you do another thing, or you look at the other way. But that's also a form of creation.
Certainly, you are somehow agreeing with something. Maybe, you can always evaluate the situation in how much you are safe to act in certain situations, but you are co-created in many times. For example, if somebody is being bullied in your presence and you don't say anything,
yes,
and you are somehow contributing like a witness to what is happening, because this person is feeling your passivity also.
So why is this person passive?
Yes, like an acknowledgement of what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, that's,
Okay. I think that I was brought up with that there's only one creator, and that is God. But in the Mary Magdalene and Jesus World School, we know we are a God ourselves.
Yes. That's really true in some way.
So we are also the creators.
Yes, and
I like that, because when you speak out, I'm a creator. You know, this is a creation.
Yes.
And when you're a creator, you can be proud of something.
Yes.
And you can look at it and say, oh, this is not what I wanted, but I can create a new one, or a new experience, or another attempt.
You can learn from it.
I can learn from it.
But to be able to learn from it, you have to take responsibility for it.
Right.
Because if you don't sit in the chair of the creator, that you are the one who are doing that, then you can never reflect and look back, because you will think, oh, this went wrong because of the weather, my neighbor, my education, the government, whatever, and you don't see your own part in it.
No, you reject it.
Yeah, you don't take responsibility.
Yeah.
And taking responsibility is also a strong position. And also, you need to be ready for that too.
I think you're right, because not everybody is ready to take responsibility.
No, mostly for painful things.
Okay, the more painful,
difficult.
The more people react with not taking any responsibility.
It is difficult to acknowledge them because then we, to take.
We don't want to look at it.
No, to be able to take responsibility, you need to have certain skills, and to need to have some coping with losing, to letting go. We need to cope with losing things, so to say, to be able to mourn about things. You need to have been confronted with losing something or somebody and recovering from it.
So you have to take time for that.
You need to, somehow you need the experience of mourning in a certain way. Not just somebody who dies, but something you have lost in your life, and you you recover, and you will survive it. Because when you take responsibility, you are confronted also with the things, your own flaws, your own incapacities,
failures,
yes. And that is confronting, and not everybody can cope with that.
No.
For some people can be very
they are ashamed.
Yeah, very, very destructive feeling that they don't, they cannot emotionally deal with it. They feel threatened. Like if somebody grew up in a surroundings of in a family where you were always told you have to be perfect and it's not okay to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And you make a mistake, you will feel that you die, that you will be kicked out of your family, that you will not have right to exist.
You're the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, and that you lose your right to exist somehow.
Yeah.
But if you have the experience that I can make mistakes and it's okay, then you will be more prone to take responsibility because you can make mistakes.
You have the right to fail.
Yes. And you can somehow try to compensate damage if you have created some damage. You can try to change things, start again, apologize, make something new, whatever. You can find a way to heal what if there is some destruction present, so to say.
But it needs skills as well.
Yes, and an emotional resilience. You need some resilience to do that. And that's a growing process. So people will take responsibility in the beginning for small things, things that are not so challenging or damaging, where making a mistake is not so serious. And they will see they survive that. It's okay, you can do that. And then later they will grow in their capacity to take more and more responsibility, and they will become more resilient.
Okay. The fourth is embracing our earthly divinity.
Yes.
And that is also a very interesting subject, because then I think of taking responsibility as well for your incarnation, for your travel through the planet Earth. And it's not only a funny trip or a tourist attraction, but it's to do quite a job.
Yes, embracing our earthly divinity is one of our purposes on Earth, and the key is to be able to embrace our earthly divinity is to embrace our mortality and our limitations, because those are the challenges to embrace our earthly divinity. And when we are up to embracing that, then we can embrace the totality of our being human. And
but also considering time and weather and etc.
Yes. You embrace all the natural laws involving being on Earth,
right,
and surrender to them. Because we are a very free soul, so to say, spirit. Then when we
in essence, we are free souls.
Yes. So when we come to Earth, we have to learn to function between the boundaries of the earthly third dimension. And that is a great surrendering.
I must say, I heard someone say is that Earth for me, it's a jail.
Yes. Okay. Well, we have to surrender to that.
Yeah,
You know, jail. Why are people put in jail? Because they didn't surrender to limitations, and the jail will learn them to teach them to accept these limitations very concretely.
It's a time for meditation in a jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when the key is that when we surrender to these limitations, we recover our freedom. Then we don't fight with the limitations anymore, but we use them to create, and we let our spirit flow within the limitations. And then this is an act of unconditional love for the earth, also for ourselves. You can say that Mary Magdalene and Jesus, they say this is the last step of opening your heart, surrendering to the earth and to your mortality and to limitations.
And they did that too.
Yes, they did that too. Certainly.
Yeah. Okay. It's taking responsibility for the incarnation. Nevertheless, where you, in what family you are born,
yes,
you've chosen that family on purpose. That was your perfect target to enter the material world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also interesting because I'm thinking, what is this my family? Why did I choose this family? Why did I choose his parents and his brothers and sisters? My goodness, what am I doing here?
Yes.
And then to examine and research, why are you here?
Yes.
What are they teaching you? And what did you want to be taught? But that's also interesting. So that it's no coincidence you were born in that family.
No, and what is interesting is that when you are in the position of the soul, who is still not conceived before conception, and the soul is exploring the parents to whom the soul has been attractive to, like a resonance, principle of resonance, that are the more suitable people to give you the set of possibilities and limitations you need to explore your reason to incarnate, your incarnation quest, so to say.
Beautiful word.
Yes, when you are exploring that, and you are in the position, the soul is in the position of the creator. The soul is creating a new life for itself. And it's choosing to go one dimension lower to explore the divine in a certain aspect. The soul still didn't, recognize completely, so to say. And then when the soul is conceived, and the person is conceived, and the soul makes connection with that fetus in the uterus of the mother in the womb, and later in childhood, so in childhood, when by the first breathing in, then the soul goes in the body, and at that moment, the soul and the child come in the position of the created, for creator to created. And then the child is mostly not aware of the choice of the soul. So the child will develop in that family within that set of conditions or possibilities and limitations the soul created for itself. And we confronted with the subject to which the soul chose to incarnate in order to develop that aspect of the divine the soul is looking for. And so there's a whole process. We'll explain that more extensively in other podcasts. But what you can say is that the child and the adolescent, the puber and the young adult will probably experience, sometimes the adults too will experience from why on earth I was born there, and how can I be in this family, and what this family means to me that have nothing to do with me. And that is mostly denial of seeing certain things that has to do with us or with other lives, or with a search of the soul for completion of the experiencing the divinity in the third dimension, and all aspects of the divine in the third dimension. And it's normal that people deny that, but at a certain point in their evolution, they will have to look in their creation and realize that the mirror is of their own soul journey.
That is a very interesting subject, and we're coming back to that in another podcast, in
Yes.
The Healing Force of Family Relations. What is a very interesting book, by the way.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to talk about that later. But when I see these 4 pillars of human divinity, then I can say, for one thing, this is very interesting material what Mary Magdalene and Jesus gave to us.
Yes.
And sometimes Father Joseph was there, and Mother Mary,
yes.
Supporting, and also brought revelations about this subject. And I like that, because for me there's one conclusion when I hear us talking, because I'm very enthusiastic about this subject, that life on earth is very interesting.
Yes. And we have been...
It's very, very interesting to be on earth.
Yes. And we have been talking in the first podcast about how do we experience our own divinity. And we can add these pillars to it. We can say that we can experience our divinity from exploring unity, from developing unconditional love, to acknowledging our creative force and embracing our earthly divinity. There are all ways in which we can experience our own divinity and reflect on it, and take responsibility for it. Because if we embrace it, and if we experience our divinity and embrace it, then we take responsibility for it and start fighting against that. And that releases a lot of energy. You get a lot of energy to do other things, you can say.
Yeah. Okay. I think that we go to the end.
Yes, I would like to mention a couple of things before we finish. We have 2 ebooks, the Human Divinity Part 1 and 2, and then available like ebooks, I think. And we have also one prayer book of prayers available in English. And we want to, so you can buy them and you can read them, and they are available in our website. And we want to invite you also to join us in our healings. And also we are giving one workshop in 3 different Fridays in this next year. We are going to give 3 days workshop on our cosmic citizenship and our Christ consciousness. And we want to invite you to subscribe to this channel and to like us, so that we continue our relationship and we can continue sharing with you these beautiful teachings of Mary Magdalene and Jesus.
Yeah, and I want to say that we have received a lot of subjects from Mary Magdalene and Jesus, so there are a lot of material. We were busy now for more than we are busy 25 years. And the first book was published in 2002, and there's still a lot of material upcoming. But there are so many subjects for people to read and to embody it. I must say there is a lot, and we are proud to do this, and we are happy to do this, and we like to bring this to the world.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your attention, and perhaps we see you also on the next podcast. It will be in a month or 2 months or something like that.
Yeah, we see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.